بدينا وين وبوم بخ وطن بيع زين وفي بس عب صوت وسوليد والشيل حط كله طرح بمكانه وبوم بدينا وين وبوم بخ وطن بيع زين وفي بس عب صوت وسوليد والشيل حط كله طرح بمكانه
حكمت من رعب الارض نطلع زي جن بخ هدي اللعب على الهدى نترك على النار الافكار تنطخ تراب ورا حدا اذا بلغ انا مش مركب بركبش مع حدا انا فين ان امكانيك البلد بالبقلك ديك بين رعوة غنم انا جيت انا ديك طلعت تحلم نحكي حقيقة دقيقة نفهم فيش وقت بضيع شباشة حفيدي بديك في بلاشة ما فيش راحة ميم انا يوم بحتاجك اجيك نعمل بلقان بطريقة طليق تفصيل على عدل اعدل شو جديد انا جيك ببور بالطور بالعرض وماكينة عريض وفريد من نوعه كمين المخا كس اخت كل مين باع واختفى.
Welcome to episode number 14 of TahrirPodcast. My guest today is Farah Darwish, the Farah Darwish, founder and host of LAU Secular. Welcome, Farah.
Hi, thank you.
Welcome. So, Farah, we just saw the introductory video. So it's you doing this graffiti and this act of public indecency. So please explain.
This was actually in the 4th of August memorial. We were having like a march from the site of the explosion of August 4th to the Martyr Square, and then we were faced with like huge numbers of soldiers and tear gas, and we were like really brutally hit, and it was not a very cool welcoming time. And then I'm a big fan of Platinum anyway, so I always have their tracks in my mind when I'm protesting because they're so aggressive and like, oh my God, I just want to be inside a video clip for now. Like, so that was all I was thinking about because it was actually chaos. It was crazy. I couldn't see anything. And then all of a sudden I saw a huge numbers of people like all coming. And what I thought at that moment that, you know what, fuck it. Like, if we could, and that's what it says in Amkan Nickel Bad, because if we could, we should actually like fuck it up because it's already fucked up, but it's not because of something we did. So maybe if we did it, it's like so what, you know? So yeah, that was actually like I was inside of a track of Platinum. So yeah.
Yeah, and how did it feel being non-Lebanese and like participating in political change in Lebanon? Like how did that feel? Did you feel that you were part of it? Did you feel discriminated against or anything of that sort?
This is like the October 19th revolution is not the very first rising that happened in Lebanon. There's also the 2015 where the garbage crisis took over, and people actually also protested, and there was like, it's not as huge as October 19, but it was also something to be mentioned. And I was actually, I wasn't actually like a baby. I was grown up and I was so afraid to join. I really wanted to join, but I was so afraid because I always knew that me being a non-Lebanese here is an automatic departure. Like for me, like whatever I do, if they caught me, anything wrong I do here is just a ticket for somewhere I don't feel like I belong to. So I was always afraid to take part of this. And then ثورة أكتوبر صارت, and when it happened, like on Thursday evening, I got all those videos and it was crazy, and like almost all of my friends were there, but I was just waiting because if it's the same and I'm just gonna be like excited and afraid to join, like I needed to check what is it actually. And then the second day, like I was too afraid to join the first day. I waited till the second day, and then oh my God, everyone was there like, okay, so it's not just like me being so obvious there, because everyone was on the streets and it was like complete chaos. And it wasn't because of like one thing. No, it wasn't like because like it was followed by a couple of like random protests. So we were somehow just in need of going to sorry, let me try again.
No worries. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I joined the second day and everyone looked like they don't mind me being there, because like nobody asked who are you, and nobody asked where do you come from, or like what's your nationality, or like why are you here. And it was so crazy for me, like everyone just wanted to be on the streets, but nobody actually gave a fuck about me in particular. So it was so comforting. Like for the very first time, I don't feel scared in Lebanon. I don't feel like no one got my back. I just felt like I'm part of something bigger and that I actually belong to it. And it felt amazing because it was like my very first time experience. It was like really, it was a great first time, and it sounds silly to others living here, but it's a very big deal to me. And since then, I've been on the streets.
Yeah. And what about LAU Secular? You're the founder and president of LAU Secular. So what is LAU Secular?
LAU Secular is a secular club at the LAU University. It's actually
Just a disclaimer, LAU is the Lebanese International University. Yeah, go on.
Sure. Yeah. It's actually a replicate to another شو بيقولوا يعني انه انعملت بغير محل. wait so يعني انه it's a replicate for شو what's the word خلص I'm gonna just okay. So the LAU Secular is a secular club in the LAU University, the Lebanese International University, and it's a replicate of other secular clubs that that were founded in another colleges as well, and we are all part of a network that is like an umbrella that hosts all these secular clubs. And lately there are also secular clubs that are not only for students, there's like for like regions, and yeah, we actually wanted to be part of something political in our university that actually looks like us, because we are banned from any political act at our university. We don't have elections. We don't have student council.
Is that recent, or is that has it always been the case?
No, it was always like that. Maybe as I knew, there was like there were election like a very long time ago, but just because it always turns out to be something sectarian and like sects take over. Sects and parties actually take over these kind of elections, even though it's not like it's just an election that happens in one specific school or like department or like campus, but it goes crazy. Sometimes there are like injured people, there are a lot of clashes. So as I know, they stopped them a very long time ago. And now for the past, God knows how many years, we have no students council and we have no elections. So the relationship between the administration and the student is actually non-existent. Actually before the revolution, I had no idea that there's anyone in this whole campus that would actually think like me, who would actually like to be a part of a group that that is progressive, that is democratic, that cares about rights, women's rights, LGBTQA, refugees, minorities, and and all of these. And then all of a sudden, in the revolution, I met a group of people who happened to be from the same campus, and they were actually protesting. And it was also very eye-opening that maybe I just wasn't in a situation where I actually meet such people. And that's why I don't have such friends in my university. So after our period, we thought that this is a very good initiative to start. We're still not officially registered, and we still don't know what kind of obstacles the university might just come up with, but we're working whatever our official status is.
Yeah. But then in general, like what does the club do? Like, do you organize like debates, discussions? Like, what's the purpose?
Yeah, it's actually a space where okay, so the club is actually a space where discussions happens and take place. We also host experts. We do panel discussions and talks. We also no, we also ask for مش we ask شو يعني بندعي
Invite.
بس بيقول invite to protest. We call
to protest.
yeah. So okay. So actually the club takes لا لحظة العين. So actually the club has a lot of different activities. We sometimes host experts to talk about certain topics. Like we have panel discussions, we have talks. We also have internal kind of discussions when like one incident is happening. So we discuss it and we like take we write posts and we post about it, like what do we think about it. We also call for protests, and we also do other kind of events and activities in collaboration with other secular clubs. And we're also a safe space for, of course, women, LGBTQA, refugees, and minorities, and everyone. So it's actually, we're still experimenting. I can't say we are actually a safe space because we're always like experimenting and we're trying our best to, but like, I think we somehow reached somewhere that we are, we're doing our very best to be this safe, helpful environment to actually host all people and just respects their thoughts and principles and ideas. And it's a good political experience for all of us. Like we're learning stuff.
And how's student activism in Lebanon, like in general? Like do clubs actually, like do you meet like AUB, LIU, and these universities? Do you cooperate, like student clubs, like get together and stuff like that, or is it quite segregated?
No, we actually do. As I mentioned earlier, we are part of a network. So yes, we do collaborate, and we were also like we called for a couple of protests in December 2021. 2020. It was like in support for the students of LAU and AUB because their tuition was being increased. So yes, like almost all of the other clubs were part of this protest because like we all operate under this network.
What's it called?
MADA network.
Yeah.
Okay, and so yeah, we do collaborate. We do call for protest with each other, and yeah, we do.
Yeah. What else?
عندك كتير editing تعمله.
لا انا مش بعمل اصلا. I don't do any editing, just raw old school podcast.
هلا مثل ما هو هيدا قاعدين نحن عم نجهز. يا سلام.
What else? Oh, we were talking about that before we started recording. I asked you if political life in Lebanon was, quite open and quite free in the sense that you could express yourself. And you told me it was either the second day you'll find yourself seeking asylum somewhere, or you can just say whatever you want and nothing might happen. So why don't you expand on that?
It's actually weird. I mean, okay, I understand that it's not like other Arab countries or other countries with like dictatorships, but it can go crazy.
Definitely not like Egypt. Yeah, go ahead.
No, definitely not. Egypt بالعكس يعني it's something we look up to. Oh my God, just kidding. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of acts and maybe sometimes like a very high discourse that we can actually say in public, which is like quite impressive, but also there's some sense of fake democracy, because if they want to get you, they can get you no matter what. Like I had a best friend of mine kidnapped from the streets on one of those revolution nights. He was kidnapped by one of the شو بيقولوا جهاز انه هو جهاز عند الدولة.
State agency.
ما اسمهم هيك عنا بس انه خلص by the government. شو بنقول؟
ممكن police.
Okay. Yeah, so it's kind of like fake democracy because like I've experienced my best friend being kidnapped from the streets right after a protest for no reason. Like he was kidnapped, we didn't know where he was, he was tortured.
How was he tortured, if you don't mind talking about?
He was hit and they took him somewhere. He was actually with another friend, like he was my best friend and my other friend. They were both kidnapped, and when they were detained, they took them from one area to another. Like we couldn't like locate them, and when they got out after 2 days, they told us that they were threatening them. They were threatening with like rape and sexual assault. They were hit, and they were also like taken somewhere, and they were like blindfolded, and they told them that we're gonna shoot you now for a couple of times. And it was crazy, like because like you think that oh yes, here we can actually talk, we can actually act, we can do stuff, and it's so free, and it's like nothing can go wrong. But at the same time, this happens, and that's when we're talking about the police and the government. Like we also know about a year ago where activist Luqman Slim was assassinated also, but it wasn't by the government as well, it was by a party. So there's also that. So you're not just dealing with the regime and the government, you're also dealing with a big number of sects and parties who would actually threaten your life easily. It's not a problem to them, they can do without.
And do you not feel personally threatened by them, by all of this happening?
I received a couple of threats before, online, and one of them was offline, just one of them. Maybe I received more, but people wouldn't tell me, I don't know. But then like for some time, I actually had my friends wait for me until I get to my house. But then I was like, actually fuck it, like I'm not gonna live in fear forever, you know. I actually made it. I participated. I'm part of all this. like, so what? And if it's gonna happen to someone else, I'm no better, actually. I might as well face that. So
And to what extent do you think the Arab Spring in 2011 had shaped the person you are today? Because for me personally, I think it kind of like changed my whole life's path. You know, I'm doing everything I do because of 2011, and I've sort of built my life around that period. So what about you? What is it for you?
okay, to me, my very like first-hand experience with
You were in Syria in 2011, right?
no, I wasn't. No, I was in Lebanon because I live in Lebanon. So I actually wasn't. So I had the whole revolution in Syria and also in Egypt, just like something I follow up with on TV. So I wasn't actually part of any revolution before the 2019 here. So I didn't really understand how huge, how great, how sad, and how, I don't know, crazy it was. Also, although there's no comparison whatsoever with Lebanon and anywhere else, because the brutality that everyone deals with in other countries is like actually not compared to the minimum, like to what we're doing here and what we're facing here, you know. But to me, it all made sense when I was actually like being hit on the streets, or like being shouted at, or maybe being dragged or whatsoever, because like, oh my god, everything I used to see and I used to look up to as something out of this world happening somewhere else, I actually never experienced it. And then actually this made me really disappointed afterward, because we didn't come up with anything from our revolution, in my opinion. It was cool, it was fun, but right now we're all just depressed and disappointed. Nothing sustainable came out of it. Even on the personal level, it changed me, of course. It changed a lot of people.
You talk about 2019, right? The Tashrin.
The Lebanese one, yes. But كمان إنه like it was a radical change in other countries. إنه لا, actually it wasn't. لحظة عم فكر بغير شيء. So like so what so like right now we're like just disappointed and we're just sad, and everything just turned out to be like an individual experience and not collective. That's what I think, you know. But like with the good stuff, it was individual, but with the bad stuff, like the explosion, the feeling is very collective. So yeah, it's disappointing. And also yeah, it's yeah, I don't believe what happened is, I'm not sure if I can say that, but it's not actually, it was absolutely like one of the outcomes of the Arab Spring
2019.
but no, the yeah لحظة أنا كثير ضعت. اللي بدي أقوله بالهيدا إنه هو شيء يمكن بيشبه، بس هو مش هالقد عظيم مثل اللي صار بغير دول والأشياء اللي تغيرت، بس مش عم يطلع معي بالإنجليزي. أوكي.
مش مهم.
Okay. So what I actually want to say is that maybe it's something somehow similar, and we were hoping it would be like as huge as other countries, but it actually didn't. And now we're just like before the revolution, you know, the country is just like nothing has happened.
And it
which
got
is
even
very
worse
sad.
economically, right?
Yeah, it got way worse actually, yes. And now like the priority is not like to go and protest and to ask for the for the politicians to just leave, or like we want to take over, because people actually can't even afford to protest. People just want to eat, just want to actually live, just want to like buy their medicines. So it's really different now. It's different. We're in a different place.
And why did you find LAU Secular, the club? Why did you create it?
Because because when I actually found out that there are other people who actually think like me, and we actually share principles and ideas and thoughts, I thought that maybe we can turn this into something actually organized, like politically organized, like not just like couple of friends and couple of people just meeting every now and then and like talking about stuff. Like I thought that this is a very good opportunity to actually found something that's sustainable, that's actually a safe space, that's a space where I can actually share what I think about and discuss it, and others can too, and so that not every one of us feels so lonely with the whole ambience of our university, because like our university is taken over by a couple of parties. So it's very obvious, like the whole direction of politics. So we're the minority. So like we had to stay together and like form something to feel like we're not just like being there as individuals in these campuses with no one to share our beliefs and thoughts. Yeah.
And to what extent do you think Lebanese student clubs and stuff like that, to what extent are they involved in actual politics?
They actually are, because we also contribute and participate in other protests, and not like just stuff related to students. Because at first, in the 2019 revolution, after a couple of weeks, like a huge protest of students participated. So like a lot of people participated as students, which was like the very first appearance to people as students in the protest. And since then we're participating in many other protests, and not also like related to revolution, also like related to feminism, to like protests against harassment, and like to have new laws to help with that, and also the economical situation. We've been to protests to support refugees. So it's not just about students and their issues and demands. We're part of something bigger. We're part of something that's happening all over the country. So even when we're discussing stuff, when we're hosting experts, we're not just talking about educational or stuff that are related to students' movement.
And what do you think has been the best thing that came out of founding LAU Secular?
Mainly the people, because on a personal level, we all are very supportive. Like it's a very it's a very supportive community. It's a very safe space. Maybe we're not as active as other clubs, but like internally we have a very good bond, and we are also there for each other, and we also take everyone's so yeah, we're always there for each other, and we're always like there supporting, and we're all like I've seen people, because like we have 8 campuses in Lebanon.
Mm.
So we've had people come from a very far campus just to join a casual meetup in Beirut, which is something so great, and like the effort is amazing. So to have something that actually gives you the sense of belonging, the sense of being heard and being part of something cool and safe and ongoing is very comforting, and it makes all of us very proud.
So you have parliamentary elections in Lebanon currently, or soon enough.
Soon.
So how is it looking like on the ground?
All of a sudden, just because they're coming soon, everyone is just busy with that. Even the opposing groups, مجموعات المعارضة. But I'm actually against all of this. I tried to join a couple of meetings to a grassroots initiative that was taking place, and it continued. But to be honest, I don't believe in elections, because if they were any good, they wouldn't let us have them.
They wouldn't.
And I think, if they were any good, they wouldn't let, the politicians wouldn't let us have elections. Because it doesn't change anything. It'll just give like legitimacy to them. Like if they do make all this election stuff, people are gonna go like they يعني كيف بدي اقول لك لحظة شوي. ما هنا لانه يعني انت فهمت شو قصدي اول مرة، انه هي الانتخابات مش لو مناح ما بيخلونا نعمل انتخابات. اوكي خلينا ارجع تاني. So like participating in these elections will only give like legitimacy to the ruling class right now. Like they're gonna fake and buy votes, and then they're gonna win again, and they're gonna rule for more time, and then make it seem like it's democratic, because look, the elections happened and you were part of it as مجموعات معارضة. You were part of it and you didn't get enough votes, and we did. So
how do you think that could be faced? How that could be combated?
I'm actually with boycotting the elections.
But do you think it would do any good? Like they would still win if you boycott?
Yeah, but like being part of this is just like you playing with their team.
I mean, this kind of yeah, go ahead.
The thing is, nothing good comes out of it. Like if you don't want this regime and you don't want this system, you don't go and ask to be part of it as it is, because like what, you're gonna get like 1 or 2 members, like and then what? I mean, it's not enough, and you need like a very big public support, which now people are actually back to their parties because they're poor and they can barely make it and they want help, and all the money and fund are with their parties, so they have to go back to that. And you can't blame anyone, because yes, they need to live and they need to eat, and they have children to feed. So
yeah, but they can still take the bribes, if you want to call them that, and still vote for the right people, given that there are right people in the first place. But is that even an option right now? Because I'm sure they're not all corrupt.
But like, yes, but like the right people, the wrong people, the corrupt people are offering money and food and jobs, okay, to their people, but others as independent candidates, what they are offering, like these people, they're just gonna offer them like they're asking for their trust, but like people don't have the privilege of waiting for something to be better. Unfortunately, and I wish it wasn't like that, but you can't just tell someone who has to eat now and like feed their children now that, okay, I can't pay you for your vote and I can't actually give you any kind of financial or like I don't know, I can't help you right now, but you have to trust me because when I get there I can work better and make stuff better, and eventually we're gonna come up with something that's sustainable and beneficial and whatsoever. And like this is great, but this is a little bit imaginary, to be honest. You know, people can't wait. They don't have the privilege of time. They need to eat. They need to get the money now, and the sense of safety they get it from their parties who have the money because they're stealing them. But like to them, they do have the power and the money and guns and everything. So it's a safest choice to go with.
Yeah. But I still know I don't agree with you on the part about boycotting the elections. Like, I think it's better to at least have a person or two. Like, I don't think it would be any better if you don't have any people in parliament.
Yes, but the thing is, there are a lot of opposing groups that they are not on the same page. So, like, even like people against the regime, who are they going to vote for? There's like, I don't know how many candidates, you know? Like, there's not like a couple of candidates that are agreed upon, and like they will get the amount of votes that will actually get them. You know, there's nothing guaranteed because like not everyone on the same page. So what, like just divide the votes on I don't know how many candidates for what? I wish it was better. I really do. And there's no fucking way I wanna keep living under the system, you know? So no. Yes, but sometimes the alternative is not actually, it's not the best.
Can you vote?
No. I can't vote, but anything that has to do with elections affects me. Whether I like it or not. So yeah.
So you told me your mother is Lebanese. So
yes.
I don't quite get how you don't have Lebanese citizenship, or how does that work? Like I've come across a couple of articles discussing that issue, but I think it's very enraging. So why don't you speak further?
In the Lebanese laws, it's forbidden to, moms are forbidden to pass their nationalities to their kids, while dads can, even if his wife wasn't Lebanese. It's not the same in the constitution, but laws are different, and they think that this is to protect the Lebanese demographics, because like most of the Lebanese women are married to Syrian and Palestinian men, and if they actually allowed women to pass their nationality, Muslims will be more, due to the majority of these nationalities belonging, so being Muslim. So they believe that this will change وجه لبنان الحضاري and التنوع الديموغرافي، التوازن الديموغرافي. yeah. But no, it's crazy because like the neighboring countries are Palestine and Syria. Like, you know, you're not gonna find like 1 billion Lebanese women marrying 1 billion Italian men, you know, like it's just logical. So yeah, they just like to give us hard times.
And going forward, what do you want to see in Lebanon?
What?
Going forward, what do you want to see in Lebanon? What do you see coming out of this parliamentary elections and the period that will follow? Because like from your words, it doesn't look very promising at all. Like it looks like the cycle, it's gonna repeat itself. The same people are gonna be there, And I also read that Hariri's brother is gonna take his position. So it almost seems like nothing happened.
Yeah, I'm not actually optimistic about this at all, to be honest, because like we know how this goes, and also maybe if these elections happened at the time of the revolution, it would be different. But now a lot of time passed, so I don't think we're gonna break the loop now. Like it's just gonna continue. It's just gonna be another cycle of what always happens, and plus the whole economical situation, COVID, the post-explosion catastrophe.
You witnessed it, right?
It's
You witnessed it. You were in Beirut when it happened.
yes.
Yeah, and
And
how was that
now
like?
my this place is just like a couple of meters away. Yeah. I wasn't here then, but yes, now like I see the port a couple of times a day. So yeah, I think it's just gonna get worse because like we're not gonna get enough members to actually come with a very quick, fast, productive plan that's gonna change everything in like a couple of months. So no one can actually stop the collapse. And it's like this whole situation, this whole crisis is benefiting this ruling class. So they have actually no intention of stopping this crazy situation we're in. Like they're actually benefiting. So it's not good for them for it to stop. So they have no intention of stopping it.
And how do you think that cycle could be broken?
Um,
You can get as radical as you want.
As what?
As radical as you.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's what I was actually about to say. Like, I think like we need to do something way more aggressive than 2019. But also it's not that easy because again, we're not just facing this government and this regime. There's 1,000 other parties you have to deal with, and they all have so all these parties sorry أنا عم ضيع. Okay, and all of these parties want this system to continue because it's in their favor. So you're dealing with so many factors, and it's not easy at all. And I don't know why, but I'm really hopeless. I don't know. Like it needs to be something so radical, so aggressive, so like just to overtake everything, but also it's not that easy. So
Yeah.
and everyone is leaving the country. So even like talking personally, even my group, even like the people surrounding me that I thought I'll be going through this with, like the revolution and whatsoever, and we might actually agree on some sort of understanding and vision. They all left. So so you feel like the sense of community is disappearing. So I'm not quite sure what next steps are going to be, because like I don't know who to be with, and I don't know who to follow or who to trust, or part of what kind of movement to be. Like it's different now.
And what's stopping you from following suit, from leaving as well?
I'm waiting for an opportunity, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not, I gave a lot of chances, but the thing is, I've always wanted to leave, but I've always wanted to leave, even when I was a little kid, because I always thought that I don't belong here, because I always had this problem with my documentation, how I was treated, like when I go to renew my residency card, how like I was treated when somebody would know that I'm not Lebanese. How would somebody actually not allow me to rent their place because I'm not also Lebanese? How I was like asked to leave jobs and all of that. So I always had the reason to leave. It would just be something different according to the situation. So the only time I felt like I belonged was in the revolution, but then when it all stopped, I'm just back in that place where okay, yes, this doesn't look like me, and I'll never be welcomed here because I'll never be part of this place. So I always want to leave because I really, really feel like I need to be part of somewhere, to belong to something, to some place, to be living without fear of being asked to leave.
Yeah.
But I'm also هلا هيك شوي إنه am I ready to leave? Like I always wanted to leave, but like, am I ready to leave? I don't know about that. Yeah, I think 2019 made it harder. Yeah, no, I would just like, you know what? No, if I got the opportunity, I'll just like pack myself in whatever bag I see and just leave. But my relationship with the city like really changed in 2019. And for now, when I think about it, I still want to, but it's hard. So it's just like a little dilemma.
And as a closing remark, what's your favorite platinum quote verse?
Cool. لحظة. There's not a quote, but there's a part of Sirsa track for Shab Jdeed when he says قلق 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 قلق. I think this this is me actually, as if it was written for me, like like being in Beirut and قلق 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 قلق. It says عادي الخوف مش عادي القلق, فإنه yeah. It's the amount of anxiety we have in this country.
Right. Thank you so much, Farah Darwish, for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This is like this is a great talk, and I'm so happy to finally have a talk with you.
Yeah, likewise. And we should record another episode in Arabic as soon as possible.
أكيد.
Yeah. Thank you, Farah.
Thank you.
صير صاع تخيل بعد ما قال لي وقف قال لي صير صاع وانا ود اخلي الدنيا تشتي رصاص تخيل ود اخلي الدنيا تشتي هلا
لحظة أحسن ما تفكروني خايف أولها حولها معكم جبران ويا لوطة قصتك عالروتة جبران ويا لوطة قصتك عالروتة نحن والثانية يا أبو الملوكة